Hey guys, Wiregrass Pyro. For those of y'all that haven't seen the unboxing of the TNT Fireworks Mercury Assortment, it'll be right up there in the corner. So if y'all want to press that and go check out that video, it'll be awesome. So you can also see what's inside of this assortment. But for everybody else that's here for the demo, if you guys want to check down below in the description, we'll actually have the start time of the lighting of the products. And I just want to say thanks for hanging out, and let's go ahead and jump into this. We're going into this, jumping straight into the TNT Fireworks Mercury Assortment demo. As you can see here right next to it, I do have the black box Ninja assortment. You can see there is one missing, but what we're basically using this for is we'll be lighting off one of these right before we do the mini display shells to have some sort of a comparison. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing underway, see what we think of the actual performance of this assortment finally, and we're definitely going to be able to give our final take on whether or not we think this assortment is truly worth 20 bucks. All right, everybody. So our first daytime novelties for the Mercury, we're going to go over the TNT poppets as well as the monster snaps. Let's go ahead, we'll open up both of them just to get a comparison for the size of each. Now, I did think that the poppets were going to be a little smaller, but we're going to actually put that to the test and find out. These are your traditional poppet, little snapper noisemakers. You can usually find these at like Walmart or stuff like that. So as you can see, those are they're your traditional original size. Nothing too crazy. Got a bag of them. I think there's 50 in there, and then we'll go over here and look at the monster snaps. Let's see if these are any bigger. A little bigger. Doesn't seem like there's a whole load of difference. Honestly, like a very small size difference. So let's go ahead and crack some of these opens. We'll start with the poppet over here on the right side, and then we'll move into the monsters on the left. Always liked messing with these as a kid. It was pretty much some stuff that you could only really get when I was my age. Didn't really have a whole lot of stuff, but let's go ahead and throw a couple of these just so we can get a small comparison. These are the poppets all in this bag. So yeah, just your traditional noise, very light throws, and you can get them all to go off, barely even having to put any force on it. So pretty good. Definitely something that is great for the kids. But we're gonna go ahead and we'll move straight into the monster bag and see if there's actually a difference in the noise here. With these being a little bigger, I'm hoping that they're going to be a little louder, but we'll see. So just throwing that first one, and then we'll see if this one's the same. Yeah, absolutely no difference between the poppets and the monster snaps. We'll go ahead and we'll keep a monster right here in our left hand, and we'll grab a poppet in our right hand, if I can grab it real quick. So pop it right here, and then a monster snap. 100% identical. We're not going to go ahead and throw the rest of the bag. We're going to move on and jump into our nighttime novelty items. All right, so we're going to start out with our morning glories. We're back here at the fire pit, so we do have some dry grass next to it. Shouldn't be an issue though. I've actually been meaning to burn that off anyway, so we're going to go ahead and crack into these. We're probably going to do one of the yellow ones right there on the left, and then we'll probably get the rest of them all at one time. And as you can see, they're nothing too crazy, just traditional small morning glories. Basically just different versions of a sparkler without the huge amount of spark on them. Still pretty fun, great for the kids, and you know, if you do end up buying the Mercury assortment, it's a good little bit that you can actually, you know, use and actually have a little bit more fun with. But we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna try and get the rest of these knocked out, see if we can move on to the flashes. So there we go, we got all of them lit for you. You can see just basically a nice little fan pattern that we got going on, nothing too crazy. All burning pretty smooth. Nice little duration on them, probably about 30, 45 seconds I'd say. But a nice little inclusion. Great thing about morning glories too is you don't really have a huge cleanup with them. Usually when you have sparklers, you know, you have that leftover metal stick. But up next, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to, as soon as these burn out, jump into the lightning flash by TNT. I had to look at it right there for real quick. We're gonna go ahead and jump into these, so let's get these laid out and then we'll get into it. All right, we got our lightning flash set out. If you guys remember these, like I said before, these are my favorite novelty item by far. So let's go ahead. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna light one on the left, and then we're gonna light the final three. All right, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So let's watch that burn out while we say this. That was super bright, very blinding almost even. Probably one of the brighter flash novelties I think I've messed with, but still pretty good quality. Let's go ahead and see if we can get the rest of these lit, and then we'll move on to our next items. All right, another extremely bright showing. We did 3 that time, so it was almost just non-stop light, just right in your face. You can see the flashes, but there's always a flash going on. So that was our smaller novelty items. Let's move on to our next one, and then we will get into the larger stuff into the assortment. All right, guys, on the next item that we have in the assortment, we have the TNT blasters. For those of you that actually did watch the unboxing of this, you remember this. This is the little mini red and blue soccer balls that emit, see if we can help y'all out. It emits crackling sparks. So let's go ahead. We got 6 of these, and let's see if we can get these lit off. All right, we're going to head and light one of these. This is the TNT blaster, like we said back at the vehicles. All right, so yeah, those are definitely like the old school solid green crackling balls that you can get. Pretty good, very short, but for it being a novelty item, I think it's pretty good. So let's go ahead and run through the rest of these. I think we got 5 more of these. I think it was a pack of 6. Looks like we may have had a good, there we go. Spoke a little too soon. I thought we had a dud on that one. Here's the next one. So it's kind of hard to see it, but on video, but in person, these probably have a spread of, I'd probably say 3 to 4 feet. It's not super big, but these are nothing but little simple novelty items, so you can't really complain about them. And then looks like we got one more, and that'll wrap these TNT blasters. We have the squash fountain. All right, that one was definitely pretty cool for something so small. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next item. We got Pyro Geek. Nice little single shot. Pretty good. I'd definitely say it had a much bigger report than I thought it would. Let's see if we can actually go ahead and get a light on this one so you guys can see. Was just that right there. So again, that was Pyro Geek. All right, going into our third item, we have TNT Sky Shooters. This is the red lettering. So let's go ahead and get this thing lit, see what we got. Basically a single shot Roman candle, more or less. It was a nice rising tail with it, no report. But let's go ahead and get it straight into the next one. And we're gonna go actually walk over here to the vehicle and we're gonna grab this one up. And this one is going to be the, as you can see, the blue letter Sky Shooters. Actually, for everybody wondering who's lighting this off, this is actually a really good buddy of mine, known him for a few years. It's actually allowing us to use his property to do this, so very much appreciated. And then this one, like I said, is red letter Sky Shooters. A nice crackling rising comet, pretty good. For these being so small, I definitely can say that these are actually pretty nice little single shots. As you can see, we got them right there. So for something with such a small bore, like I said before, those are along the line of about a half-inch bore. And for what they are, definitely can say so far this assortment is absolutely worth the money. All right, for this next series of items in the assortment, you can see we're going to move into our mini display shells that we have. And what we're actually going to do on this one is we're going to go ahead and we're going to light the black box Ninja Festival Ball, or mini canister is really what it is. That way we can get a comparison between these. Now I did pick this up. This is about 10 bucks for 6 shots, give or take. So we're gonna do something a little different here. Before each one of these, I'm gonna go ahead and splice in the report for this one just so we can get a comparison of the break size. All right, so as I said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna light off the black box Ninja Festival Ball just so we can have kind of a standard of a lower grade festival ball. So let's go ahead and get this one up there. Like I said, this is not part of the assortment. It is strictly for a comparison. All right, for first mini display shell, we're gonna have the crackling chrysanthemum with the red tail. This is the TNT mini display shell. All right, so it probably doesn't look like much on the actual video, but as far as the audio from those brakes were about the same loudness level. That mini display by TNT was actually a lot louder than I thought it would be. Really good. I'm trying to get this camera panned up as fast as we can so we can see these reports. So up next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to shoot off the crackling peony with red and yellow star. Again, very, very impressive. Did not think that we would get this performance out of these mini display shells from this Mercury assortment. These last two that we just shot, as well, I'm going to assume is this next one that we have, which is going to be the red star with a red tail. I'm actually looking forward to this one. But as far as these mini display shells go, these absolutely make this assortment worth the money that you put into it. It's probably the best $20 assortment that I have ever seen. Let's go ahead and get this next one shot off. Again, these things are breaking way harder than they actually look. I got a little bit of stuff floating down around us, but you can see they definitely got some oomph to them. It was enough to actually knock that over. So for those of you that have been wondering about those, like I was, definitely worth getting this. All right, up next, as you guys can see, we're using a homemade Roman candle rack. This is actually for a bore size of 1 inch and 1/8, but we're using these really small Roman candles that come in the assortment. But we ended up kicking it out to the side and kind of burying the base into the dirt to get these to point kind of straight up. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna shoot one of these off by itself, and then we're gonna attempt to get you a little mini finale with these and get 3 of them lit at the same time. All right, so that was the single. Up next, looks like we're gonna go ahead and try and get this knocked out and get 3 of them lit all at once. All right, guys, so let me know what y'all think. I actually think that for the price, for 20 bucks, this is definitely money well spent. I cannot complain at all about this assortment. If you actually see the TNT Mercury, I would definitely suggest picking it up. This thing gets a 100% pass from this channel. As you can see, we are here exactly where this video started. I did record the intro and the ending at pretty much the same time, but we're gonna go ahead and give our input on what we think about this assortment. So for starters, I give this assortment a 10 out of 10. Like, this is an absolute must buy. The reason it's a 10 out of 10, it come with plenty of very good single shot items in there. The sky shooters were pretty good. I'm not necessarily sure if they would make the assortment, but if I had to put my finger on items that did make the assortment, very well worth the $20 price tag on it, that would definitely be the mini display shells. As you saw, we did do a comparison using the black box festival wall, which was the Ninjas, and I did say that the Ninja assorted shells did cost about $10. If you bought them in pair for the place that I go to, you guys saw the other video, it was about $7.50 for that box of 6. So we basically ended up getting, in comparison for that, it'd be about $3.50, maybe $3.75 for those 3 mini shells that come in this assortment. But to kind of wrap this up, close it out, and not keep you guys here any longer, this is the probably #1 assortment I would suggest that's out there right now. Unless there's some that are out there that I haven't seen yet, shot yet, or even looked at yet. I could be completely wrong, but as far as TNT Fireworks, this is probably going to be the best $20 that you can spend. So if you guys are still hanging out, make sure you guys smash that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it, everybody. And as always, practice safe fireworks and have a blast.